Our chopper was over Coyote Creek earlier this afternoon, where Valley Water has installed new floodgates. Now, this is what they're trying to prevent. Back in 2017, Anderson Dam was breached, sending water rushing into communities along Coyote Creek. Our Len Ramirez joins us live to explain the new protections that were designed with this disaster in mind. Len?
That's right. That flooding was caused when huge amounts of water were let out of Anderson Reservoir, and it exposed the weak spots along Coyote Creek, this being one of them right here. But you can see now what the water district is doing. They're building these walls along the creek, thousands of feet in that direction and thousands of feet in the other direction from where we're standing right now. You know, this flooding caught a lot of people by surprise in Santa Clara County, but hopefully with these walls, no more surprises and no more flooding.
Oh yeah, the water came over, and all those streets back here by the garbage cans all across the street, all that was underwater.
Robert Gutierrez lives near the banks of Coyote Creek and lived through the floods of 2017. That's when water surged over their banks in several spots, flooding homes and cars and leaving entire neighborhoods underwater. Robert was ordered to evacuate.
It freaked out a lot of people, okay, because there's a lot of people here at multiple families in these homes. And they didn't know where to go, man. They just come out in the middle of the night. I think it was like 12 o'clock at night. They started telling people to get out of their homes. And people started grabbing their stuff and leaving. And whether they knew where to go or not, I don't know. But I stayed in my home. I didn't go.
Fortunately for him, the gamble paid off and his house did not go underwater. But in hopes of preventing future floods, the Valley Water District is building thousands of feet of steel flood walls along the creek.
We are currently in the construction of the first part of the project, which is anticipated to be completed by the end of this year.
The massive sheets of steel are driven into the ground along the banks of the creek, leaving 5 to 10 feet exposed to form a barrier against rising waters. 9 miles of walls will be built between Montague Expressway and Tully Road. The flood walls are also part of the Anderson Reservoir retrofit, which will include a larger tunnel to discharge huge amounts of water down Coyote Creek during periods of heavy rain to prevent overflows such as occurred in 2017. Robert says 7 years after the floods, he's glad something is finally getting done.
This water just needs to be controlled.
And the price tag for all of this is almost $340 million. Liz, it's being paid for through a combination of ratepayers. You know, rates have been going up in Santa Clara County, as well as a recent ballot measure that voters did approve.
All right, Len, thanks so much. Meanwhile, the storm approaching California could bring record amounts of single-day snowfall to the Sierra. Caltrans is warning drivers, if you haven't left for the mountains tonight, stay off the road. Now, with so much snow, it raises a big question. How much can the agency really handle? Caltrans says they're prepared for conditions to get too dangerous for their workers, but they hope it doesn't come to that.
It's pretty much their job to keep the roads open at all times. And I mean, they definitely have safety protocols in place. You know, and most of the time, you know, these guys, you know, they're in vehicles, so at least they're in an enclosed environment, you know, in snow plows and blowers and things like that. So they're not exactly outside, you know, necessarily all the time.
All right, let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Paul Hagan tracking that monster storm. And Paul, we can't say it enough. We're not talking inches of snow. We're talking feet.
Right. Feet of snow. It's going to start already tomorrow, and it's literally going to be snowing too fast for the road crews to keep up. As soon as they plow one of the main roads, the snow's going to fall heavily enough. It's going to cover it up in the course of minutes. Let's take a look at the big picture perspective of this storm system as it shapes up. We're going to see waves of light to moderate rainfall in the Bay Area, but the cold air diving in, combined with the flow of moisture from the southwest, is really just going to maximize the snow potential in the Sierra. So it's that moisture being squeezed up against the higher elevations with the cold environment down to about 2,000, 2,500 feet. That's why we're going to see so much snow falling. Now, if you were tempted to try to head into the Sierra, let's take a look at the amounts that we expect. Say if you're going to go on I-80. These are the amounts that we expect from Thursday through Sunday. You get up to Blue Canyon just a little bit above 1 mile above sea level, and we're talking 4 to 6 feet of snow accumulating there. Higher higher in elevation, above 6,000 feet, 6 to 10 feet. The snow accumulation from Kingville to Soda Springs, slightly less than that at Donner Summit because a lot of the snow will blow over the summit and down the other side. Even on the downwind side of the peaks, though, we're still talking 3 to 5 feet of snow. And it's a similar story along US 50. All of the routes into the Sierra are basically going to be impossible to travel on as we head through the weekend. In those highest peaks, at least 5 to 8 feet of snow, some places close to 10 feet of total snow accumulation. Of course, this is going to be rain in the Bay Area, which the rain chances are going to ramp up as we head through the day tomorrow, especially from late morning into the afternoon. But throughout the course of these waves of moisture, light to moderate rain, and that really keeps a lid on our flooding potential. We'll add up how much rain we expect over the course of the next several days, coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Paul, thank you so much.